is something we didn't discuss in this conference at all. And there are systems in different parts of the world as to how magistrates themselves make a record in the proceedings of the court every day on the performance of the legal aid lawyer before them. So that's a whole system of supervision of the legal aid lawyer. Incredible. So when the legal aid lawyer appears before the magistrate first of all notes the presence of the lawyer. Because very often in legal aid matters, so he notes the presence of the lawyer, he notes the performance of the lawyer in that proceeding, and he makes recommendations and remarks regarding that. And that goes into the record of the legal aid lawyer. It's a computerized record, it goes into the record of the legal aid lawyer when he's ultimately paid. And the magistrate will then record that the legal aid lawyer has visited the prison and has made this report regarding the prison visit, etc. So he will record quite meticulously in the proceedings every time the legal aid lawyer appears, every time the date comes for the case. So that we must look into as a separate thing at some stage. Today was a more general preliminary kind of meeting today, these last 2 days. But when we go into a more in-depth thing, we must look at it in considerable detail. The Punjab lawyers before they left said that we must communicate that they are going to file a public interest petition on the fees paid to legal aid lawyers, which is very low fees, the fees paid, the wages paid, so to speak, to legal aid lawyers. It is uneven. Delhi seems to be high, but in Punjab it's 750 rupees for a full case. And it's so sad. And I have a feeling if we do this case from 2-3 states and we file it, I see no reason why the legal aid lawyer should not be paid, if not on par, but at least something commensurate, 60%, 70%, the fees or the wages paid to the prosecution lawyer. 500 rupees per case. It's patently unconstitutional, right? And if we do this, and if we increase it, say, from 500 to 510 times, which is what it should be, at least it should be, if you get 10 times, then there's a huge surge of interest among the lawyers to actually do this legal aid work. Right? So that case they have decided to do within 3 weeks, they're ready, and then we'll take information from other states. Now, Bombay pays 500 rupees, just take a note of that, and we'll collect from all the states what the rates are, and we'll file that case. One question is, should we do a judicial colloquium? That is to say, the head of the second senior most judge of the High Court is the head of the legal aid, state legal aid committee. So should we, through NANSA and through all these state legal aid committees, hold a national convention together with human rights lawyers? You know, because they hold meetings among themselves and they have tea and biscuits and all that and have some discussion and go away. But I'm talking about a judicial colloquium where there will be equal number of human rights lawyers, activist lawyers, and judges and stuff. Should we try and do that? And if CHRLN and the other organizations, all our fraternal organizations, say 6 months from now, if we can do a 2-day or a 3-day convention, during the holidays, maybe a Saturday, do a 2-day convention. But it should be jointly called by the national NANSA, the state legal aid service, and our organizations. First, the higher judiciary actually. We want to get, perhaps lower judiciary also. No, correct. But we want the higher judiciary who supervises them to send out guidelines to them now. Guidelines and see, what we find is Chhattisgarh State Legal Aid Services Authority hostile. Not only not doing, but hostile to doing legal aid work. They say all these people are all terrorists, why should we do? Jharkhand the same. So there are many states, I would say at least half the states in this country are hostile to the work that we are doing. Not only they are not working, but they are hostile to our work. The judges, these senior judges are very hostile in their minds. So let's try and do one. And if CHRI and the other organizations, Ajay, all of you all, you can do a very good intensive meeting at this country. Not only that, in that meeting, somebody said international, right? Somebody said international. Somebody said, see, I'm not a great fan of international, but I feel that when the judges come, and if we can get 8 or 10 Supreme Court judges to come, we must get some very prominent judges and perhaps lawyers from different parts of the world to also come. So do a 3 or 4 day meeting, call South Africa, America, some of the states in America have the Public Defenders Project. Right? From Israel, there is a man called Kenneth Mann, who was the director of the Public Defenders Project, who set it up, who's now been virtually sacked or something. But he's a very good person again. So like that, let's call persons who are senior judges and lawyers, academics who are good, and really have a very solid meeting on business rights and legal aid.
Like you said about the public defenders, some of the best public defenders of India.
Yeah, call them to India. Yeah,
That's a very good idea.
yeah, let's try and do that.
One of the international members is good.
Yeah. I'm not talking about too many. I would say about 4 or 5. South Africa, for example, we can call. I don't know. 4 or 5 persons from abroad. And say, compare the systems, compare the legal aid systems in these countries. Yeah, so that's basically my suggestion. Is there anything else that we need to do? We have a small presentation. We have